A student loses $60,000 buying off the plan. Let's have a look. Good evening everyone, Florian Heiser here, and welcome to another episode of Heiser Says. I've got my stein of coffee, and I thought we would talk about a sad and funny one all wrapped in together. And this is to do with a student who's about to lose her $60,000, or has her $60,000 deposit for a apartment she bought off the plan. And it's a sugar tree apartment in Auckland, over across the ditch in New Zealand. Let's have a look at this apartment building a bit here. And here's the marketing material here, you know, welcome to Sugar Tree. You got the nice, you know, the render there. And we'll just jump into Google Earth. And this is the reality. This is one of the first stage of the project. And you can see, we zoomed out, we were just on this street here. Okay, that's stage one, and it's wrapping around to here. And you got Nelson Street here. I'm not familiar with Auckland. You got the highway, or the motorway, right here, so you're going to get noise from that. And, you know, there's the bay, and yeah, and there you go. I've got to go visit New Zealand. You know, I should take the family over there. We'll do the whole, you know, stereotypical bushwalking and let the kids see some snow. But we'll just have a look at this street, because this is what I saw first when I was looking at it, and I was shocked. I mean, there you go. I mean, what else can you really do with 4 lanes of traffic here? 5 if you count that one, to downtown. You're never going to be able to open a window like that. I mean, I've lived next to 5 lanes. You get used to it. You know. So let's have a look at this article. An apartment buyer in Auckland is decrying her loss of a $60,000 deposit, but the developer says it isn't liable to pay it back. Bridie Campbell, 24, a student, said she used an inheritance from her father, who died 2 years ago, to put down a $60,000 deposit on a unit in the apartment complex between Union Street and Nelson Street. But now she wants it back because no financier will loan her the rest of the money she needs for the unit. So, I mean, what lesson can we take from this? Can you put a deposit subject to finance in these situations? And if you can't get finance, you get your deposit back? Will they let you do that? You know, you need to get independent legal advice. But Darren Brown, Sugar Tree Managing Director, said today it was clear in the contract that the buyers must settle once they pay deposits. Sugar Tree had done nothing wrong in retaining the deposit she bought via a real estate agent, and she owes the balance of the money for the unit she agreed to buy, Brown said. We do have sympathy for her and put her in touch with a finance broker to assist her. I wonder if they would have gotten a little bonus for that too. I wonder. We've done what we can. Well, no, they wouldn't get the bonus because she didn't get the finance, Brown said. We've built just under 700 apartments, and 99% of buyers did what they said they'd do. 700 apartments. So let's look at this thing again. Remember, you're buying here, and I think she paid 600 grand for it. 700 apartments just in this area here. So you will always be competing with someone to sell your apartment, or for rent. To rent. We were looking earlier today at the rental market in Sydney going down. I wonder what it's like in Auckland. If we have any Kiwis watching, let me know in the comments, please. So, we've had very few defaults. This is a warning to people. Be careful about signing up to a contract, Brown said. Sugar Tree's funders have been paid the deposits which had partly financed the property's development, Brown stressed. Not only would the $60,000 be legally retained, but Campbell was now liable for full and final settlement, he said, because she had agreed to that in a written contract. Okay, she'd signed a contract for that. And she asked she could fight it in court, perhaps. She could probably go the real estate agent, but wait, it's going to get even worse. This could turn into like a Jerry Springer type of thing. My advice to her, or anyone in this situation, would be to get a lawyer and get independent legal advice, guys. Pay the, $500, pay the $1,000, because it can be worth it in the long run. It's an unfortunate situation she's in. There's no question she's due to settle the contract. She's liable for the balance, Brown said, referring to her purchase in the new block. But Campbell said she can't settle because she can't get the money and she wants her money back. So, I mean, that seems rather naive, rather childish, frankly. You know, that she expects to get her money back. She's probably got no idea. Maybe she wasn't mentally fit or mature enough to make a decision like this. This money has sentimental value to me. Money has sentimental value. Yep, yeah, sure. It's only money. I mean, honestly, it really is. It's not that important. Money comes and goes in your life. You shouldn't get too attached to money, not at all, no matter where it comes from. That's worrying. And I'm sure you can empathize with me on this matter. I purchased a 45 square meter, 1-bedroom and study apartment. That's it? 45 square meter, 1-bedroom apartment and car park off the plans in the new Sugar Tree complex at Altro with a 10% deposit. They took a deposit of 60,000, she said. So she bought it for 600 grand with a 10% deposit. Now that settlements come around 2 years later, I'm unable to settle after going to every single bank and multiple mortgage brokers, approaching it from every possible angle. So she can't settle, and she wants the money back. She said that she had been informed by her lawyer that Sugar Tree could potentially sue her for the value of the apartment, forcing her to sell at a loss. She would then still be liable for the balance between the sale price and the price she agreed to pay, and they could probably do her for costs. She now wants her deposit back and claims the party she paid the $60,000 to should have warned her about the difficulties she might face getting finance. Well, yes, they should have a legal duty of care to inform people that they need to seek their own independent legal advice. And I would be shocked. I would be shocked that they didn't do that. That would be a real... If you're getting to the point where you're, flipping 700 units, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Let's have a look at their marketing. And you can see here, there's only 8 left. And now they're from 554,000. And we'll look at some of the plans. What's it? She got the Altro. So we'll just load this up. Come on, guys. Oh, they've got 13 left. 3-bed, 2-bath, unit 17. Ready to move in. And there you go. 1-bedroom, 1-bedroom, little bathroom. They're tight. They're tight. Look at that. You've got no... See, these rooms piss me off. These ones here. See that one? We'll zoom in. No. That has no external ventilation, no windows. Has to be mechanically ventilated or borrows air from a neighbouring portion. That's like what we did, what was done in, primitive accommodation like 100 years ago, turn of the century, from 18th to 19th century, this type of stuff, internalised rooms with no outdoor air. So there you go. I mean, 2-bedroom, unit 14. Have a look at that one. Again, this... I don't like how they classify this as a bedroom. It's a media room or it's chunky. You got no windows. You got no windows. So you're going to have to mechanically ventilate it. It's... it's just a personal bugbear for me, guys. I really don't like those ones. And here you go. We've got one of the 1-bedroom ones. Wow. View the other plans. Here's 2B. Here we go. This looks like the one she got. So a little tiny study nook. And... 600 grand. 600,000, guys. 600,000 Kiwi dollars. That's still. But it gets even worse. Because in another article, we find, and this one's from the 5th, the first one I read is from the... Is it also from the 5th? Yes, it is. It's from 8:23 a.m. And this one is at 11:50 a.m. Sadly, the agent was my mum. So I wonder if they wrote 2 articles to, get maximum hits, which maybe I need to learn about that. So, the Sugar Tree buyer who lost 60 grand deposit can't settle purchase. The agent who sold it to her was her mother. A 24-year-old Auckland student who lost a $60,000 deposit on an apartment, bought the apartment via her mother, who was the real estate agent that sold a unit in the Sugar Tree project between Union Street and Nelson Street. Sadly, the agent was my mum, said Bridie Campbell, who used an inheritance from her father who died 2 years ago to put down a $60,000 deposit on the unit she cannot afford because attempts to borrow money have been unsuccessful. She did not warn me whatsoever about the difficulties I might face getting finance, Campbell complained about her mother. How How is this possible in a family relationship? I mean, this is Jerry Springer type of stuff, isn't it? You don't normal families help each other out, or maybe they're estranged, maybe there's a whole level here that we don't even know, that frankly I don't want to know. I was informed that it was highly likely, and here we go, I was informed that it was highly likely the value of the apartment would increase significantly and the equity would compensate for the low deposit. So they told, it'll go up. Real estate always goes up, don't you know? So your low deposit will mean you get finance. So she took a gamble. And now she's paying the price, and it's cost her 60 grand. Cost her 60 grand. What this tells me is that, well, in some ways, this isn't a girl. She's 24 years old. She's an adult for all intents and purposes, but she's too naive to make a decision like this, and probably need better education in finance and business. But then again, I mean, what am I saying? I was also informed that alternatively I could sell on at a gain. This was a fallacy. Well, no, of course you could sell on as a gain if it went up. That's what people did. That's what people got greedy. You know? You're essentially becoming a property speculator by buying off the plan. You're helping fund the development, and then you have the right to buy it outright at the price that you've agreed, or you can sell on to another party for a different price. Martin Dunn, Managing Director of City Sales, confirmed Priscilla Surreal had worked at his agency and sold a Sugar Tree unit to Campbell. Priscilla is Bridie's mother, and from my recollection, the invitation to invest came from her. None of us ever met Bridie. Everything was done carefully and by the book, including legal confirmation by Sugar Tree that the buyer was the daughter of one of our brokers, Dunn said. I put my own son, James, into Sugar Tree on the same basis. Why? Now he's down 60 grand. We had no idea Birdie wanted to on-sell the unit until recently, and then she would not even deal with me personally, insisting every matter must be run past and through her mother, Priscilla, Dunn said. We have an onus of responsibility to warn buyers of their obligations in signing their contracts, but we can't even get tentative pre-approval from financiers as the settlements are, certainly in Birdie's case, up to 2 years away, he said. Well, yeah, I mean, this just screams of naivete. I mean, 24 years old, taking on a $600,000 liability. That's insane. Why did she buy that? Surely they'd be cheaper. Well, no, sorry, it's New Zealand. No, there isn't anything cheaper. But I mean, I don't know. Let me know, guys. Let Kiwis, let me know in the comments. 600 grand for a 1-bedroom box in this thing. I mean, it doesn't look that good. It's a box. It's simple. I mean, I kind of like the simplicity of it. I don't know why it's called Sugar Tree. Was there a sugar farm there? Or was it just a funky name they made? I mean, at least you could make the facade a bit more exciting. Put some panel. Anyway. So Darren Brown, Sugar Tree's managing director, also pointed to a relationship between city sales agent and buyer. He emphasized that Campbell had not bought via his company, but via city sales. So it's got nothing to do with him. Brown said Sugar Tree had tried to help Campbell get finance, but she was not entitled to her $60,000 deposit back. But just think about the fact that she's asking for it back. Think about that. You know, just the sense of entitlement. Going, my daddy gave me that money. I changed my mind. Can I get it back? Not only that, but Campbell is now due to settle the full payment of the apartment in the new Alto block. He said, describing the situation as a hard lesson to learn. Yeah, well, it is a life lesson. Campbell said she had raised the issue about the purchaser with her mother. She has admitted to me that she is responsible for the loss and will make it up somehow. I just don't see how this is possible, as it's a huge liability, Campbell said today. Well, why doesn't the mother come in and help the daughter buy it? Why don't the two of them go together and buy the apartment together? I mean, I've got absolutely no idea about their financial circumstances, but that would probably be the best way to do it. I mean, you're going to lose 60 grand one way or another, either in the value of the property. At least then you have something you can live in. At the time she paid the deposit, Campbell said she was led to believe that there would be no issues getting finance, with my 10% deposit by my real estate agent, who pushed for the sale and signing the contract to be unconditional, therefore obtaining commission immediately. Ah, well, there you go. There you go. That's why you don't trust real estate agents, guys. That's why you don't trust them. I've been supremely unimpressed with real estate agents. My agent stated that I was to simply ignore the advice given by my lawyer to have a meeting with a bank. So she got independent legal advice, and she listened to the real estate agent that was her mother. This is a Jerry Springer episode, guys. She is aware that I was in no position to obtain finance as I'm currently studying, and that would jeopardize her sale, Campbell said. I was informed that the only way there would be a sale was to sign for the contract to be unconditional. This was a high-risk financial decision, and I was given bad advice, which I believe, as I have no other form of support or guidance. I do not have written pre-approval for finance from any bank or lender when paying the deposit, as assumptions were made that I would be in a position to settle in 2 years when the apartment was built. I was unaware of banks' reluctance to lend on apartments and not given the correct guidance regarding this, she said today. So that is horrific. I mean, another thing she did that was reported in the media, the poor girl started a funding campaign to raise money, and now she's done the good thing. Only 3 people have donated, and she's going to donate to the Prostate Cancer Foundation of New Zealand, maybe turning this into a positive. But I mean, this just seems insane. It just seems she's got to sue her mother. She's got to sue her mother for bad legal advice. She needs to get independent legal advice. But then again, if you talk to a lawyer tells you something to do, you ignore that, who's to blame? Who's to blame? How can you even expect to just ask and get your money? I guess it doesn't hurt to try, but I'm stumped, guys. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments, everyone. Let me know what you think. Like, share, and subscribe. I will see you all again tomorrow. Take care.